Hello. Can everyone hear me okay? I guess I'll wait for a few minutes for maybe I think the host will. The host is muted, I think. Crypto miners.
Hello. Yes, now I can speak. Can you hear me, Tommy? Can you hear me?
Hello, Marie.
Hello. Am I audible for you?
You are perfectly audible, crystal
Perfect.
clear. Am I?
You too. I can hear you well.
Awesome.
So yeah, we have already started the recording, so I will say welcome to everyone who is joining this AMA session we have here at Crypto Miners at Twitter Space. And we are delighted to welcome a project, a gaming project called BoomLand. And Tommy, you are the speaker.
I am indeed. I am not Serhat,
Yeah.
who couldn't make it, but hopefully I will. I will do my best to answer as many questions as possible.
Very good. Yes, yes. So yeah, I was told Sir Hat was coming, but if he's busy, we will take you instead. No problem, Tommy. You're very, very welcome here with us. I hope you're well.
Awesome. I am indeed. I am indeed. It's not very a lovely weather in London, a bit rainy, but I guess that's the way it is.
Oh,
So I
you're
can
in
focus on
London.
work.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Well, tell us a little bit about you then. Who are you? Because we knew Sir Hat was going to be here, but I don't know
Yeah.
who you are.
Yeah. Sure. So I'm Tommy Jamet. I am the head of blockchain product at BoomLand.
Hmm.
So anything related to the design, the economy, the token mechanics, the creation of the NFTs, all of that, I'll be able to answer all questions related to that. Serhat is the head of ops, so everything related to the team structure, to the strategy, to scaling issues, to the everything that's ops related, and a lot of other things lands on his desk. I'm more focused on the product side of things.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about Boomland then. If we met in an elevator, for say, and you were telling me an overview,
Yep.
what is Boomland? So everyone in here
So
understands.
i- in a nutshell, BoomLand is not a game. BoomLand is a platform that will host a series of games, and all of those games will exist in BoomLand in a harmonious manner. They will all have a similar governance token, which is the Boom token. We can talk a bit about that later.
Hmm.
And all of those games, so the first game that we launch on the BoomLand platform is called Hunters on Chain, and it's a spin-off of BoomBits, so the one of the founding studio of BoomLand. It's one of the most successful games that BoomBit has created. It's a spin-off of a game called Hunt Royale, and the game has already tremendous traction. It generated over 5 million downloads so far. It's got a tremendous kind of retention numbers. It's a really successful game in the Web 2 space. And that's why we decided to bring it into Web 3, because the hardest element to make a fun game is to reach that balance in the game to make it appealing to every kind of players. And that's why we're bringing Web 2 games into Web 3 this way.
Hmm. So you are collaborating with this other gaming studio, you said, or is that the one? Are you together? How does that work?
So there's going to be so BoomLand is founded by BoomBits, but
Okay.
it's two different entities, and BoomLand is a multi-studio game publisher. So we're in discussion with three other studio already to publish their game into the platform. But the first studio to publish their game on BoomLand is BoomBit.
BoomBit is already on there, and Hunters on Chain is your next game that you are gonna launch now then soon.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
yes,
All
that's
right. So
correct.
tell us a bit more then in depth. I can't speak. Sorry. Uh,
Tough one.
yeah, about these. Maybe we can start a little bit about the game, the new game that's coming out then, the
Yeah, sure.
Hunters.
So the game that's so the game that's coming out is called Hunters on Chain, and also I've got a little bit of like announcement nuggets after that if you want regarding to the NFT, the upcoming NFT sale. That there's a few things that I can tell,
Sure.
that haven't been like made public yet, so you'd have some kind of exclusivity if you want. But I can tell a bit more about the game itself. So the game is called Hunt Royale. There's going to be several different game modes. So if you like, for example, tower defense, there will be modes for that. If you like duel against one other player, they will be there. It will be possible. If you want to have like more of a battle royale system with lots of other players, you can do that too. All of the game modes will be released over time, but initially we can expect to have a few different game modes. Obviously, as the game will advance, we'll have more modes. And the principle is that players will be able to own what we call hunters, which are playable NFTs, and those hunters will compete in those different modes in order to reach the highest ranking in short games. So it's about like 2 to 5 minute game, really short. It's mobile first as well. I think it's important to mention
Oh, yeah.
all of the Boomland games will be mobile first. So that's a key element. And the so when you have a hunter, you can participate in any game mode that you want. You have an energy that it costs an energy point to enter a game, and then that energy regenerate over time, to prevent abuse. And from there, can you still hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh
I
yeah.
just muted
Okay.
myself.
No, because yeah. So there was like an emptiness of background noise. So I thought that there was an issue. So yes, the overall game is fairly simple. You've got an hunter, and you are able to play throughout one of those modes. Whenever you finish the game, based on your rank, you earn some cryptocurrency, BGEM, which is going to be the most the majority of earning will be made in our in-game currency, the BGEM. And then the governance token is the Boom token, which also will be able to be earned through special event or higher tier events.
So there will be two tokens, one governance token that's called Boom and the other one be Gem, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So we've got two tokens in the game, and the BGEM token is it's an algorithmic stable coin that is made, and it's not backed by anything but the game. It's a game backed stable coin, and that mechanics is achieved, and we've worked a lot on that mechanics. That mechanics is achieved because we needed a currency that can scale to millions of players, regardless of the number of NFTs out there, to the number of games out there as well. And we've designed a mechanics that have this token to lean toward a specific value, regardless of the number of players. So we have an elastic supply of the and minting process, but that's the way this token works. And then the Boom token, which is a governance token, has a capped um, uh, capped balance of 5 billion.
Okay, so how stable is a stable coin backed by a game? Is my next question.
So it's so we're not obsessed with the stability. We're not gonna be absolutely obsessed if the peg goes up or down. We expect it to fluctuate. That's normal, but there are a lot of different mechanisms in the way that the token will be minted every day that will naturally drive the value back toward the peg. So, for example, if the value goes higher than the defined peg, then we will issue more token every day. So people will be able to earn more token every day, which will dilute the value of the token and drive it back to the peg. And the reverse mechanism will happen whenever the token decrease in value. We will reduce the amount of token minted each day and available for earning by reward by playing. And this will increase the scarcity of the token, which should over time bring it back to the desired peg.
Okay, that sounds good. You have thought about that. That's good.
Yeah, so
Anyway,
it's not a one person kind of product. It's a
yeah,
very yeah. We've had a lot of people that are way clever than me that worked on that as well, and it works really well. Actually, I was quite impressed with the simulation. We've stress tested it many times, and it
yeah. Okay.
works.
Yeah, so about the game, about the team, I mean, you are also backed by this bigger Boombit, which has quite a success story behind. You see on your webpage, I can see that there were 1.2 billion downloads since company inception
Yeah, so Boombit
from the
is a Web
Boombit.
two. Yeah, Boombit is a Web two game developer studio. So they've started 10 years ago. They've published about 200 games on the App Store and the Google Play Store. And out of those 200 games, their number one hit, the best game they published ever, was Hunt Royale, which they've decided to bring to Web three into BoomLand. So the team have BoomBit have about like a little bit under 300 employees full time, and yeah, it's a really successful Web two game company, and now we're starting that spin-off independent studio to bring Web two games into Web three because they believe that's where the gaming industry is heading at. So it's just trying to make the right move to join that space the right way.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that too. I believe we have to go there with the gaming. So you can save your NFTs and you can boost them and maybe sell them later when you want to move on to other games and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
think
there's many ways to do it wrong.
probably, yeah, probably. I mean, it's a learning curve probably also. We have
It is.
lots of lots of projects
Yes.
coming and going, but I mean, you are quite a big developer from the start already, which is good with a big team. That's always a bit more assuring, I think.
Yeah, and it's also the approach to Web3 gaming that we have because we have that background of gaming first. We look at Web3 gaming through the spectrum of Web2, and because we feel and we believe that we want to bring to the table a play and earn approach as opposed to play to earn. And we feel that a Web3 game can only be successful if the gaming aspect is at the center, and if it's really the most important bit is the gaming element. So having a game that is well
Yeah.
balanced, that is already structured with data analytics on it, every every decision to change the game should be data driven, and that's what has been done with Boombit from day one. So we're kind of implementing those methods that have proven to be successful into the Web3 space.
Yeah, so how do you plan to I mean, um, get new people in there to this, like to teach them about how it works in Web3, how it works with crypto?
So first, we're trying to have, and we understand that crypto is not necessarily, even if it's not always rocket science, it's not the most appealing user experience most of the time. So the main approach that we've had from the start was to design a product that is that is easy enough to use by everyone, where
Mm-hmm.
ultimately you don't even feel that you're using a Web3 product, and you don't even feel that you're playing a Web3 game. You're just playing a game that is fun to play, but that has this additional value that you can extract the time invested from the in that game outside of it. Because I think that's
Mm-hmm.
what makes Web3 game really appealing, is that capacity to extract the invested time from that game to bring it forward to the next game that you're going to play.
Yeah, and I mean it's about the game you say, and I agree because you want to keep the player. It's going to be a game who you have to come back to and play again because you like it.
Yeah.
But how do you do you have to own an NFT? Do you have to have the cryptocurrency to play the game, or is it
No,
for
and
everyone?
that's where we try to innovate as well. And there's going to be additional mechanism that we're going to bring to, because so basically when we look at Web3 games at the moment, there's a few different problems. First, there's a very high barrier to entry. So if you want to have millions of players, if a single asset costs $300, it doesn't really scale. It can't scale to millions of players. And the second
Hmm.
issue that we've had to solve was, if you have a 10K 10,000 NFT drop, then how can you imagine having millions of players? So we've had to scale to solve those two elements. So the way that we solved that was first to introduce a mechanism where players can rent hunters through our marketplace. So we're creating our own marketplace that will have a rental feature that will enable players that don't have any money. So you don't even need 1 cent to start playing, because what you'll be able to do is to enter into a smart contract with an asset owner and say, I want to play with your asset, and whatever money I make by playing with your asset, we will share the revenue from it. But I don't pay anything upfront. And the percentage of revenue share is defined by the asset owner.
Mm, okay. I think we have a question from the Midnight. Go ahead, Midnight. Do you have a question for Tommy in BoomLand?
Trying to figure out how to unmute myself on this. I don't usually come on
You did.
Twitter. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Not too
Um,
bad
Hi.
and stuff.
I had to move from PC because Twitter is not very good on PC. Just wanted to know about your, like, the sustainability of your project, because the problem I see with gaming, right? They're not it's not cheap to develop and run. So when it comes to your operational cost, what do you guys what do you guys spend in a yearly? Uh, uh, what's your yearly budget on spending? Because you probably you need millions for gaming, and as well as to onboard other games, right? They don't come cheap. So have you guys got any investors that are funding you guys, or have you guys got your own funds that you've raised, from other businesses? Can you go through the funding of how you funding your own project?
Yeah, sure, of course. So there's a few things that I can tell, and obviously you'll understand that there's a few elements that I have to keep quiet for the time being. We will make announcement when the time comes about investors and additional funds to the project. What I can tell is that we've received some tremendous support from Polygon, and they're the initial investors in the project alongside Boombit that invested in time and in resources as well. So those two stakeholders are the first one to heavily invest in that venture. But you're absolutely right. In order to be sustainable and to work in the long term, it needs to have additional influx of capital, but also it needs to have a sustainable way of sustain itself, even if I repeat myself here. So the way that we're going to achieve that, there is going to be we are going to do a a series of fundraising event, and it's happening in the background. But obviously, that's something that I can't really tell much more about it. But we are seeing a lot of interest on that front. And the second aspect that we're developing from a sustainability perspective is having basically it's kind of creating that virtuous circle where you create games that are appealing with mechanics that works, with mechanics that are not broken in a way that you don't promise that people will make million overnight with NFTs. But you promise that on top of having fun by playing the game, players will also be able to extract that value from what they play. And when you do that, you create the foundation of something where other games can plug in and synergize with your project. So over time, the value of the Boom token, which captures the overall value of the project, should increase. And then the revenue that because when each game comes into the project, they will be able to mint their NFT there, which can generate revenue for the platform. And then the marketplace also is generative of revenue. And there are a few other mechanics as well that we'll implement to generate revenue. But we're building that as we advance as well. But the business model is designed to be as sustainable as possible.
Okay, the other question is really in terms of business ownership. Are you guys selling your business? Are you using your token as a kind of business trade? What is the main objective of the token? I can see like it's more about gaming and getting the marketplace. You want to grow your gaming marketplace, but how are you going to attract these gaming developers to come to you instead of using other platforms? Because the way I see it is everyone's trying to build a gaming platform or an NFT marketplace. What makes you different to these other gaming and NFT marketplaces that others can't achieve and you can? Why are you so different? I get these
Yes,
day in and day out.
it's a really good question again. I think it's also something that we've had to think about from day one, because obviously, if it's to add additional noise in an ecosystem that's already very noisy, what's the point? And you're absolutely right. So we had to think like, why are we, as Simon Sinek says, starts with why, and our why was. We are not just creating a marketplace. We're not just creating a platform and it's very cliche to say it, but we're creating an ecosystem. And even if everyone says it, we're actually delivering it. And the way that we're doing that is creating with with proven tools that have seen some really good success in the Web2 space. For example, we have our own SDK that allow games to basically plug and play into Web3. This SDK has been developed for over 7 years now, and we're going to be adding the blockchain layers to it. So it's already a very efficient Web2 SDK, and we're adding this Web3 layer. Through the use of that SDK, for example, we're going to be able to scale the onboarding of new games in a very efficient manner. And then in the meantime, imagine an ecosystem where you have like one token, so the Boom token or the BGEM token is going to be the same token that you gain and you earn in every game. So if you play in one game, you earn BGEM, you can spend it to purchase in-game asset in another one. So that's a value that you wouldn't have in a marketplace, for example, or a game discovery platform that will only provide you the access of different games that have different currency, sometimes even on different chain. So all of our game will be on Polygon. All of the game will be on the same chain. And in addition to that, the BGEM token will also allow the community to vote. And we have a governance module that will allow players to vote on where they want the platform to go and to evolve. So we want to really empower the community to make those decisions, and keeping obviously with keeping in mind that it needs to have a coherence in the way that it scales, but creating an ecosystem where games have interconnection. We can even think of interoperable assets, so a hunter that you could use in another game, for example. So if you have a legendary asset, you can use it and also have those benefits across a few different games. Not all assets will have that, but a few will. And in addition to that, we will have also cross like discovery element that will help new games to become visible in the platform when they join. So think, for example, of a multi-game quest. So you need to, for example, play a game with a vampire in Hunters Unchained, and then play 5 vampire card in another in a trading card game that is on BoomLand, and then do another thing related to a vampire in a third game, and then you receive a legendary NFT vampire related asset as a reward. And you can't really do that if you don't create the entire infrastructure that can support that build. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna before I go to go, I'm late for a meeting, but I'll ask one more question and then I'm gonna go. You've got something called, you've got a market and user acquisition tool. When you say user acquisition, how are you gonna achieve that? Because trying to convert users is not very easy. How are you going to get your conversion rate high? How are you going to approach your marketing? I know there's a lot of questions there, but it's very interesting for me to know because I am a gamer as well. So,
Yeah, sure. So first we're gonna, and we are very aware about the caution that traditional gaming sector has toward Web3 gaming. So first we have a tremendous reach and an existing and proven method of user acquisition through Boombit, because they're also gonna help us to achieve that in the Web2 traditional way. We're also going to implement a lot of huge partnerships with very renowned guilds as well. So we're trying to bring the best of two worlds and the best of what has been successful in Web 2 and what is really showing traction in Web 3 to bring as many people as possible around the same table. Obviously, that's going to come with test and learn. It's going to come. It's not gonna skyrocket overnight. Maybe I think we're receiving some extremely good feedback from really significant guilds. I think the biggest one you'll have on the back of your head, we're talking with them. But I think it's a matter of, rather than chasing the user acquisition, it's really proving that the proof is in the pudding, as we say in England. It's kind of showing what the project is. We're going to be the first project that released, well, one of the first projects that have a game available just after the NFT drop, and then from there people can test and try for themselves.
Very good. Thank you, Midnight, for
all right,
those.
happy with that. All right, guys, thank you for answering these questions. I'm actually reading your white paper right now. So,
Cool.
Tommy, I'll talk to you after. I've got a few more questions. We'll be here all
Yeah,
night.
of course.
So,
No
but
problem. Have a good meeting.
Brilliant.
have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye.
Brilliant question. Thank you. Yeah, we also get some questions here in this Twitter space people are posting. And one is a bit interesting, I think. Do you have any like scholarships for gamers?
So we know that guilds have their own and have developed their very efficient ways of managing their scholars, and not all guilds do it in the same way. So we don't want to reinvent the wheel here, and we want to also respect what guilds have developed over time. So the approach that we have is that we're giving guild the some tools to facilitate the delegation of assets, for example, through the rental feature in the marketplace, for example. We're also going to create dedicated mechanics for guilds and dedicated panels and features for them. But we know that we're going to also integrate with our API and theirs. We're going to facilitate the integration of our assets with their tools. But we know that guilds have already very efficient ways of managing their scholars. So we're going to work with them to make that and to scale it with what already exists on their end.
That's good. Yeah, I wanted to know also about if you have educational programs, and yeah. to help them to be better gamers in just this metaverse or this game?
Yeah, so education is key, and we will definitely through AMAs like the one we're doing today, through different articles as well, through collaboration exercises. You're absolutely right. Education is key, but not just from a guild perspective. I think if we want to bring Web 2 players to Web 3, education has to be at the center of it.
Yeah. So you're also going to bring out like YouTube videos how to play it and maybe while you
Oh yeah,
play it so people can
we
listen
you know what?
and
We'll
learn.
we'll even have an early like game demo of the game, and if you're so I can reveal the golden nuggets now if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So there's something really interesting that we're doing for the it's not live yet, but I'm officially authorized to communicate about it. I've been dying to do it for weeks, but now I finally can.
I can tell.
Uh,
Let's go,
so
Tommy.
so what we're doing is we're going to have a very special way of getting our whitelist together, because we know that it's for some people it can be a bit cumbersome to get into a whitelist, especially if you're not Web3 native. You don't know all of the codes and all of the everything that you need to do in traditional Web3 space. So what we're doing is we're creating what we call a golden ticket. Like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory style, it's going to be extremely scarce. But if you get your hands on a golden ticket, you can literally go and purchase one when it's live. But there's going to be very limited quantity of it. It's going to be released over time, but we're talking about like less than 100 at a time, so really small quantities. Um, and when you have a golden ticket, you have a secured, you have a few things. You've got secured whitelist spot, and you're going to have potentially also early access to the game and early access to the minting page. So once you get your golden ticket, it's also refunded to you at checkout. So it's literally not going to cost you anything once you purchase and minted your first NFT, but it gives you an opportunity to try the game by yourself and actually play it. And I think there's not a lot of projects that do that.
That sounds amazing. But I think, how do I get this golden ticket? It was not so many, so you
So
have to be quick or
the
you have to do something for
Yes,
it.
so we're gonna do like a series of announcements. If you follow us, so if you follow me on Twitter, if you follow BoomLand on Twitter, that's where the announcement will come from as well. You can also join our Discord. All of the communication will come there as well. Um, and it's not going to come now. It's going to come like very soon. The announcement will come. We're talking about a, a really small amount of weeks now. So whenever the golden tickets is live, there's going to be like every week there's going to be a drop of golden tickets, and if you're quick enough, you can get your hands on one. It's limited to one per wallet, so you can only buy one for each wallet you have, and it's an NFT, so you can sell it on secondary market. And when you have a golden ticket, you will be able to purchase up to 5 assets during the minting stage.
Nice. And will this golden ticket be only for this game, or will it also go
We
further
we
than
don't know.
for the
So
next
we
games?
we will see how it works out, and it's something we
Mm.
really want to try because we love the principle of, and the visual of it is also awesome. We've got a few artists that worked on it, and I love the design of it. And it's got a really really cool twist to it. Unfortunately, I can't share any visuals. I would get slammed otherwise, but the visual is quite cool as well.
It
We'll
looks
see if
golden, I
we
guess.
well, yeah, and it's a ticket and it's golden. That's what I can tell you. And it's got some BoomLand vibe to it. But
Nice.
basically, if you we'll see how it goes, and we really like the idea of bringing like reducing the friction of joining a whitelist. So that's why we're doing it. But then, as everything, it's a test and learn exercise. So we'll see how it works out.
Mhm. We got a question here from North in the trade. He said, I read on your site that we could use the same currency to trade items in different games within the ecosystem. Knowing that a lot of games now have their own token, how would you avoid the confusion of using the same token in all games?
So, and it's a good question. It comes back to the point I mentioned around creating that
Yeah.
ecosystem of games. And I guess there's two things. You've got the in-game currency, the BGEM, which is what you earn by playing. And because every game that will be on BoomLand will have the same in-game currency, you will earn BGEM regardless which BoomLand game you play. You will basically be able, without having to swap any token, you'll earn BGEM in Hunters on Chain, so you will be able to purchase assets on, if you log into another game, it will pop up your BGEM balance. You will just be able to purchase assets on this other game as well. And it's going to be extremely fluid because of that mechanism. And thanks to adapting and integrating the same currency to all of those games. Of course, it won't work with games that are not part of Boomland because that's the whole point. But that's what we're trying to achieve. Yeah.
All right, that's good. So, when is this game coming out? When can people play it?
So I like we've got a teaser coming, and I've got the punchline that I really love too, which is buckle up this winter because Boomland is coming. So I guess it's gonna be during Q4. We're releasing the game and the sale in Q4. It's coming really, really soon. All of the announcements will follow very, very soon. Obviously, I can't just say. I always, when I'm on the other side of AMAs, I always hate when people don't give an actual date. But being on this side of the fence, I do understand why, because there's a few things that we're still polishing out.
Yeah, if you don't have a date,
Q4,
you don't
yeah,
have it. I mean, sometime in Q4, that's good enough for now,
mid
I think.
mid mid Q4, you'll have it for Christmas. You'll be able to play with it before Christmas.
Nice. And the NFTs comes out at the same time, or do you play
Yeah, so
without
we
NFTs also?
so when you have a golden ticket, you can play the demo version of the game, and you will not have NFT connected to it because obviously you won't have any. So it would be just to play to test to test the gameplay, and then very soon. So we don't want to be one of the key things that we had at heart was not to be one of those projects that release and sell the NFTs, but then wait for like 1 year because before the game is available. We're gonna be releasing the game extremely soon after the NFT drop. Uh, Also talking in weeks here.
Cool. And you have chosen Polygon. Why is that? Was it like the best choice right away, or did you check others out as well?
There was a few different discussions. So we discussed with Avalanche at some point and a few others. Eventually, it came down to, and we talk about how tech is cool, how we all love cool tech. But at the end of the day, when you're in business, you're dealing with people. And at some point, the support and the people that we've met at Polygon and the level of support and the reaction they had and the commitment they made with us to to go together to deliver that and to onboard us as a partner was tremendous. The level of support and the quality of interaction we've got with Polygon, from the introduction they make up to the discussion with their tech team for support whenever we need that. We're also going to be one of the first, if not the first, gaming platform to deliver on and to have their own SuperNet protocol. So we're going to be able to also give our member eventually to own their own node and validate blocks and use the Boom token as the gas for the ecosystem. And we couldn't do that with any other. We didn't see the same level of support with any other protocol. So it came down to that at the end of the day, people.
All right. We have a question here from Miracle in the feed,
Yep.
and he asked, you haven't told us much about your game NFTs. Are there any rarity? Can we upgrade them? Please share more about the NFTs.
I can tell you all about it. So
Let's go.
in a nutshell, I'm going to try to be as concise as possible. We've got two different types of NFT. We've got playable NFTs and item NFTs, and then we've got the cryptocurrencies. But just on the NFT side, we've got two types. Playable NFTs are going to be within BoomLand. It's always going to be like that. Now, for Hunters on Chain specifically, playable NFTs are going to be the hunters that you can play with, and item NFTs are everything that you obviously can't play with, but can use to upgrade and enhance and advance in the game. And we've got three types of item NFTs in Hunters on Chain. First, we've got the artifact. So artifacts are items that you can equip to a hunter to bring him to give him additional benefits. So, for example, increased range or lifesteal or increased attack speed. Those in Hunters on Chain overall, we've got 5 levels of rarities: uncommon, common, rare, epic, and legendary. And the artifact NFT follows the same level of rarities. So if you have a common lifesteal NFT artifact, it will maybe just giving random numbers, but it may give you 2% lifesteal. And if you have a legendary lifesteal artifact, it will give you 15% lifesteal. So the more rare it is, the more efficient it will be on your hunter. Now, be mindful because you can attach an artifact on a hunter for free, but then you can't unequip it. If you want to remove it to replace with another artifact, it will destroy the artifact and it will be burnt. The second type of non-playable NFTs are equipment. Those assets are used to are combined together and merged to summon new hunters. So it's the item that is useful to breed new NFTs. The breeding mechanism works through a formula mechanism. So we've got, for example, you will need, if you have a dragon helmet, a dragon heart, a silver sword, an old cape, and a piece of cheese, that is the recipe to that may be the recipe to create a dragon knight. And you have a certain chance of success. You've got also several different level of rarity for those artifacts, which combined together will drive the chance of success of getting the right hunter and the highest rarity level. So you're not guaranteed to have the hunter, the desired hunter, but at least you will have higher chances. And then you will need Boom token as well in the process of minting, and you will need to lock up 2 hunters in order to stake 2 hunters for a period of time in order to process the breeding. And the third type of NFTs are shard NFTs. They also come in the same level of rarities, so 5 rarities. And those items are used to upgrade your hunter and level it up. So as well, you will need Boom token for that. But by increasing the level of a hunter, you will increase two things. You will increase their power and their efficiencies and how strong they are in the game. But you will also increase how good they are at earning token. So they will earn more big gem and they will be more powerful in game. So you really want to do that. And that's what we have for NFTs in Hunters on Chain.
That was a lot, yeah. So will you also be able to rent an NFT if you can't afford one yourself?
So playable NFTs, yes, you can rent it, and you don't have to play anything. You don't have to pay anything. You may not always have to pay anything. Some people, for legendary or for the most powerful, maybe there's a possibility for the owner to set up a fixed daily price in Boom, but they can fix that price to 0. And what they can move is the revenue share from that NFT that they get. So, for example, if you don't have any money, you go on the marketplace and you say, oh, this rare hunter, I like it. I want to play with it, and I will the rental terms are 60/40. So I will give 60% of the earning to the owner, and I will keep 40, or vice versa, whatever the owner has decided.
Okay, nice. We have another question from the audience here. I unmuted Baba. Go ahead, Baba. What is your question?
Thank you. Tommy, earlier on you said we need the Boom tokens to mint the NFTs, and also you talked about breeding. So my question is, which of the Boom tokens do we need to mint? Because as per my understanding, I think you operate with a dual token mechanism. So which of the tokens do we use to mint the NFTs? And also the breeding, what happens to the former characters that comes together? Do they just disappear?
Good questions. So the first one is, so there is 2 tokens, but both tokens have different utility. BGEM, so the first token, BGEM token, is the in-game currency. You earn that by playing. When you have BGEM, you can use BGEM to purchase hunt boxes. And those hunt boxes will contain artifacts. They can contain even hunters if you're very lucky. They can contain equipment. They can contain hunter shards. They can contain a variety of things. But that's what you purchase with BGEM. Boom token, you can't purchase hunt boxes with Boom token. What you do with Boom token is you use it to upgrade your NFTs. So that is the token that you use to level up hunters, to summon. Every time there is an upgrade of NFTs, that will require Boom token. When it comes to your question around the breeding, no, we're not going to burn the hunters. There may be additional mechanism added in the future where it will require to burn a hunter, but at first we will not have a burning mechanism for hunter. What we will have in place is what the mechanism is for breeding is you have your 5 artifacts. You will enter a summoning page. You will put your 5 artifacts together according to the formula that matches those artifacts. You will expect a certain hunter to be minted. Now, in order to trigger the summoning process, you will require to have 2 other hunters locked and staked. It will not burn them, it will just make them unavailable to you for play for a period of time. The period of time they will be locked will depend on various things like the rarity of artifact of equipment you've used, a few different things, but it will be a period of time where those hunters are locked and unavailable. At the end of the summoning process, the hunters are released, like the finish to incantate and summon the hunters. So when the new hunters is summoned, you will be able to play again with your 2 hunters, and now you'll have 3.
Okay, awesome. So and this breeding as well, the new character that is being bred, will it require any special attention? And what you I don't think you actually answered my question. What happens to the 2 characters that come together to form the new character? Will they have been used up, or can we also continue using them? Because I'm actually
So no,
playing a game,
yeah.
and I don't really like the breeding aspect. So I want you to just expatiate a little more on that.
Yes, so they'll have been used for minting. They will be available again to play, or you can also breed again with them. And there is no, at the moment, we haven't integrated any limit in how many hunters one hunter can summon. So there is no limit, because what we've designed is a game that the issue that we've seen with many games like Axis Infinity, for example, with no cap supply in Axis, is that it's very important that, and what we brought from Web 2 is this ability to design an architecture where it's extremely like there is no limit of hunters except for the OG hunters that you will have during the first NFT sale. The first one that will sell are OG hunters. There will never be more, and they will have massive benefits to it. There will be they will contain some stuff that will be revealed very shortly, but that will make them extremely unique. Think about think of like the mythic element of the axis, for example. Um, and I guess when it comes to making a game to scale to millions of players, we needed that cap to be removed. But in the meantime, we needed to maintain scarcity, so we made the creation of hunters extremely difficult. So it doesn't kind of it doesn't jeopardize the economy and the sustainability.
Interesting. Thank you. That was a nice one. I would keep an eye on that.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think I will unmute someone here. We have so many hands up, like 40 people wants to ask questions.
Can I pick questions?
Yeah, you can pick one.
Yeah. What I like to do is picking people that so I'm not sure if I can see here. Who is asking for? Is there an?
Do you mean from the space, from the feed, where they
Yeah,
ask?
yeah. If there's a list of people that ask a question, I don't know. I like to see like I like to give the mic to people that follow me on Twitter to give an extra edge on the exercise. Maybe
Yeah, sure.
blessing. Blessing. Can I unmute people?
I think maybe you can try, or else
Let
tell
me
me and I will
try.
unmute someone for you. Blessing.
So some yeah, blessing. Where is blessing?
Blessed, you mean? Blessed.
Where is blessed?
I see him.
I've lost
yeah,
you, blessed.
I unmuted.
You see him?
I
Okay,
unmuted
cool.
Blessed now.
Cool.
It takes a little while.
Yeah. Hello.
So I have.
What's your question?
So as we know, most of the important thing of the project is the team. So may I ask, does your team is a docs team? And how many and the experience of the team? What are your challenges experience?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question, and it's a crucial one. So being doxxed is the fact of being revealed and publicly not hiding who you are. All the team is doxxed. We are all full time on the project. So you can find my social media on Twitter. You can no one on the team hide who they are, up to the CEO. Hannibal. From my end, I've been in the blockchain space. So my background is accounting and finance. I used to work in traditional banking as I was trained as an accountant in my old days. I worked in banking before with large banks, and that's when I came across Bitcoin back in 2016. I've worked in large transformation project in banks, and from there I moved into financial transformation and technological transformation, and then moved further into technology consulting. When I was fully focused on blockchain integration and blockchain transformation. And that's when after that I moved into gaming and with BoomLand. Now the rest of the team have extreme experience and massive experience in gaming. They've been in the space for more than 10 years now, and they've built about 200 games so far. They've accumulated 1.5 billion downloads on Web 2. So they know how to build games, and we have people in the team that have the Web 3 experience.
Oh, thank you. What a great team. So, thank you so much for
Thank you,
being
Blessing.
transparent.
Thank you.
All right. Do you have time for one more question, Tommy?
I
Or
have
what do
all
you
the
say?
time in the world. I have maybe
Oh,
like
I'm not sure I have
15 more
all the
minutes.
time in the world.
Not all the time in the
Let's
world, but I've got a few more minutes. I see that there's a
okay.
lot of
Let's pick
questions.
one more then.
Yeah. Let's pick who's following me that is raising their hand. Um, Peter Griffin. He does follow me.
Peter Griffin. Where is
Uh,
he? Oh, there he is. Peter Griffin. You are unmuted, Peter. Everyone is waving to us now.
yeah, indeed. I know how frustrating it is to be an AMA wanting to ask a question and not being picked.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We can.
I like how sincere you are in the project. So I have just two questions for you. And the first question I want to ask is that for a fact, we know that due to this good, amazing work you're doing in this project, a lot of people will keep bringing up projects just to compete with you. How sure are you that you're going to continue updating your system or keep bringing up new things so that the competitors will not be able to pass you by?
It's a really good question. And actually, the way experience taught us that having competition and having people willing to copy you is actually a good sign. So we're actually like we're not really fussed about being copied or being having competition, because that's the way it is. Like if you're going if anything, it reassures us that we're going in the right direction. So we welcome competition. When I see, because I've been in the space for a while, and when I see all of the different pieces that you need to bring together in order to make that work, from the tech team to the marketing strategy to the knowledge of game development to the knowledge of Web3 to the knowledge of building a business to the knowledge of regulation to the knowledge of setting up partnerships and building connections, the amount of skill set that is required to make that successful is in itself a big enough barrier to entry that we feel that like whoever will copy us will really need to know what they're doing if they want to really beat us at that game. So, and if anything, if there is a project that competes with us and that do it better, it just means that it's the right direction and it's the way to go. And the gaming industry is bigger than the movie and the music industry combined. So whatever the competition is doing, there is place for everyone as well.
That's amazing, Tommy. That is amazing. So, my last question is that the other time you spoke about a golden ticket. All right. So, my network kind of shifted, so I couldn't really understand what you were talking about. So, how can I get my hands on a golden ticket? Because I understand you say there's going to be very limited edition of it, so it can't go round, right? So, but how can I be like part of the first people to get my hands on a golden ticket? Thank you, Tommy.
Thanks, Peter. So the best thing is the way that we'll announce the process of getting your hands on golden ticket will be mainly on Twitter and Discord. So, and I will be retweeting that. I will be communicating about that. So if you follow me on Twitter, if you follow BoomLand on Twitter, you shouldn't miss out when we communicate about the golden ticket sale. Follow the main account, BoomLand, It will be also, we have a new website coming up where the golden ticket sale will be explained. There will be entire AMAs around the golden ticket process and how this new kind of whitelisting campaign will be proceed. The golden ticket will not just be a one-off sale. There will be a few drops, even if each drop will be very limited. If you miss out on one, you can still get your hands on one on the next one. And if you don't manage to get your hands, keep in mind that it's only one per wallet, so you can't purchase more than one per wallet. But if you don't manage to get your hands on one, it's an NFT, so it will be available on secondary market as well. And it will be possible to sell it on secondary market, so we expect that a few will be available. With one golden ticket, you will be able to purchase up to 5 assets in the mint page. And there's going to be a few different assets, but we'll have the time to talk about that, like a few bundles that we'll have the time to talk about later on. But that's basically what the golden ticket sale will be about. Follow us on the BoomLand main account or my Twitter account or the rest of the team if you find when you find us on Twitter. That's where you'll find the most relevant information there.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much. I do have a lot of questions, but I'm going to see you later. Then we're going to talk about that. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank
Amazing
you, Peter. Great questions. And Tommy, I think the time is running out here.
That's okay.
Usually we have 45 minutes, but now it's like over an hour or so. But it's very interesting, so that's why it usually gets like this. I don't know, but yeah,
it's hard, a good problem.
It's hard to keep the time.
That's
it's
fine.
A good problem to have. Yeah, why not? So I would like you to, is there something that you think that we have missed that is very essential that you want us to know before we leave here today?
No, I think what I like to close AMAs with is that what we're trying to build is really, and what is the competitive edge of Web3 gaming, and the best Web3 game will be the one that it's like the best blockchain product. It's the one that doesn't say that it utilizes blockchain. And what we're adding is a new tool that allow players to extract the value to extract the time that they've spent on the game. And that's really what Web3 gaming is about and where it adds value. It's not about blockchain. It's not about cool tech. It's about extracting the value of the time you invested in a game. And as long as Web3 games are built this way, I think it should go in the right way for the industry.
Yes, for sure. There was one question I remember now also. Does it cost anything to play the games? Is there an entry fee or something?
No, it's absolutely free. It's free to enter the game. It's free to play the game. You can rent a hunter for free whenever they are available. And we will bring additional mechanism to bring that free-to-play element as well. So the rental is one feature, but you can expect other things to come that will add and increase that capacity of just playing the game for the fun, because it is a fun game. It will be a series of fun games amongst everything.
Yeah, it's a lot to cover, and maybe you can even come back at some point to have a follow-up on this, because I see there's lots of interest here. We have lots of people listening and lots of people with questions, and good questions. So everyone in here, I'm so sorry, but we will have to end this now. And you are able to go to the BoomLand socials, the Twitter or Telegram. I think maybe have a Discord as well, Tommy, right?
Yeah, we've got a Discord. Every link is available on. So the website is boomland.io. And we've got so my Twitter here, or the BoomLand main account is also a good place to go. You shouldn't have any issue to find us on social media. If you do, it's that we're not doing our job properly, but hopefully you will.
Yeah, I think it's easy to find the webpage anyway. Go from there, and so you won't get scammed and find some other links on the wrong place, you know.
And on my own
first.
Twitter account, I list the right BoomLand Twitter handle and the website as well.
Yeah, we can all follow each other in here. That's good.
Indeed.
So, yeah, keep the space growing. And yeah, it was a pleasure hosting you, Tommy. Very interesting project. And as I said, I hope we can meet again and have a follow-up later on.
We
That
can
would be
have a
amazing.
golden ticket focused AMA next time if you want.
Oh, yeah, that would be lovely. We could maybe someone can win a golden ticket then at that point. Who knows?
Oh, I think the team was really keen on like it's gonna be a very few if we maybe one. But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
one. I mean one.
we can definitely think of something like that.
That would be very cool. So keep in touch, Tommy, and have a really great rest of your day or night or wherever you are. I don't know.
It's the middle of the day, but yeah, I've got to.
Oh, it's in London. Yeah, you said.
Yeah,
Sorry, I know.
A few things to deal with. But it's been a pleasure to be here. Thanks a lot for having me, Mary. Thanks, sorry for everyone that I couldn't answer the question to. Hopefully, on the white paper, there's going to be a lot of answers, but we'll try to answer other questions during the future AMAs. We've got quite a few coming this week.
Yeah, go ahead and follow them, and you will not miss a thing. So thank you everyone for coming, and I will see you soon, I hope. Have a nice
Thank you. Bye bye.
Wherever you are. Bye.
Bye bye.